Okay, we're trying again. This is the second attempt of tonight's Q&A. I went live about 10 minutes ago, and connection was horrible. Lagging wasn't working. I think it's good now. The stream says excellent condition, so here we are. You know, it's interesting. Every time I go live, I restart my router, I restart my computer, I do it all to refresh everything, and every once in a while, the stream will not work. It's done it once last season right before a game. I had to delete that stream and go live again right before the game started. If you guys remember that, I don't remember what week it was, but we went live right when kickoff happened to start the game because the video wasn't working, it was laggy, but this one's good. So we are here and we back. Yeah, not really sure why it does that every once in a while, even when I restart my computer and my router, but we here now. Let's go. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Justin in the house, Blueberry, Old Man, Yeet, Sean. Yeah, I can see over here. I can definitely tell when it's not working, just so you guys know, because the stream will tell me it's in excellent condition about 98% of the time. And when I went live a little bit ago, it definitely said your stream has poor connection, which obviously doesn't make any sense. But hey, we here. Let's go. What's up, everybody? There's not a lot of Chiefs news going on. Somebody just said, any Rice updates? What's up, PJ? Thought I was beatboxing? Yeah. No. No real Rice news yet. His lawyer spoke to the media last week and said that Rice will speak out. Maybe sometime this week. Also, if there were any super chats or any memberships given on the first original live stream, I do apologize. I think Race Fan might have gave 10 gifted. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. I definitely had to delete the stream because it wasn't working. So I can't see it. But if that was you, man, I appreciate you. Appreciate you guys. You're afraid we lose Rice for the year? I don't think so, man. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer or a legal expert. But I think if Rice gets suspended, it's a minimal suspension sometime this year. That's just my best guess at this point. It's a little early. Like, you got to let the process play out. Yo, what's up, Rob? How are you doing? Epic's like, great beatboxing. Thanks, dude. I was just messing around. Yeah, the eclipse happened yesterday. I didn't go outside to watch it because I was working and dealing with some stuff here behind the scenes. But I did go upstairs like around the time of the eclipse, and I was like looking outside, and I was like, why does it look shady? My wife was like, it's the eclipse. It's like, oh, yeah, that's right. Yo, what's up, Justin? How are you, man? Joe with the 2 months. Let's go, dude. Appreciate that. Said, happy Tuesday, Cole. We got some bad weather for me tomorrow, so pray I don't get swallowed up by some tornadoes. Joe, where the heck are you? Where's the bad weather? Is it going to be in Kansas City? Because if so, oh, man. What I was saying at the beginning of my last live stream that wasn't working, I said it's been a crazy, interesting day. Not a super crazy day, but interesting day. My daughter had her tonsils removed earlier this morning. Something we've been planning for a while, opted to get it done. And so she's upstairs resting. She's doing pretty well. I think the pain will really start hitting her over the next few days. But for the first day, she's doing a great job. It's not something we did joyfully or super willingly, talking about removing her tonsils, but yeah, it needed to be done for her health, and we put it off as long as we could. She's already 7, and we got it done today. So we've been dealing with no tonsils. We've been dealing with eclipses, and the Chiefs making some moves. Like they really made a few moves they thought they needed to do as soon as the Sneed trade became official, and they got that $19.8 million last week. And they signed quarterback Carson Wentz. That's QB2. That was a 1-year, $3.3-ish million deal. Then they signed running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire almost right after that. That's RB2, or at least running back depth, a valuable depth piece in the running back room. It basically makes it to where the running back room, you're not desperate heading into the draft, in my opinion. Same with quarterback. Like, you don't need another, like, you've got Wentz. That's fine. You will need to look at tackle. You will need to look at wide receiver. There's like debating and arguing going on, you know, as always, just what draft pick will the Chiefs take in round 1? And the argument right now is tackle versus wide receiver. I think you just have to look first and see how the board falls. And then if Brett Veach and company have a true round one grade on a tackle, I don't pick your poison. I don't know. That falls into the 20s. Maybe they'll go get him. I don't know that. I've seen some people say, well, the Chiefs could trade mortgage of the future and go get Joe Alt. I mean, that would be dope, but is he really going to be available in the teens? No. He's going top 10 probably. So you're probably not going to get him. So it's a tackle or a wide receiver, most likely. Those are big positions of need. We can talk about that a little bit more, but the title of the stream is which Chiefs players will step up next season. I put Sky and Tony on the cover because they're in the wide receiver room right now, but I still have question marks about them. I saw Sky training. He's been working out, putting in the work, and a player can get better each and every year. We need to see that. Tony is the biggest question mark, I think, in the wide receiver room. No idea what's going to come of him. In my opinion, you just have him out there as the returner with the new kickoff rules and then have him return punts. Great. Sounds great to me. He was not healthy, and then for the second half of the season, talking about Tony wasn't healthy, but then he said he was healthy. They took him off the injury report and he was a healthy scratch in the Super Bowl. I don't know what to expect of Tony. Sky, I think, will try his best to step up. I would love to see more from him in year 3. I thought we would see more from him in year 2. We did not. We did not see more from him in year 2. No more from Sky Moore. So I hope that they can step up. Rice, obviously, I believe will take a nice step forward, but you have the potential suspension looming as well. So you got to deal with that. Other players that could step up that I want to see step up. I mean, you're really looking at, let's stay offense. Let's stay offense for a second. Wanye Morris would love to take a big step up, even if he is not the starting tackle at the beginning of the season. Maybe they go draft somebody else, or they bring in another vet after the draft, depending, Donovan Smith, whoever. Maybe Wanye is not your starting left tackle, but I would love him to be, if they don't bring back Prince Tega Wanogho, a nice swing tackle for the Chiefs. They tendered and signed, Mike Caliendo signed his contract today, I believe. Yeah, today, along with defensive back Nazeeh Johnson. And Mike Caliendo is really your interior guy. He can play guard or center, and that's kind of the Allegretti role. So I do like that. But yeah, you need a little bit more work at tackle. I would love to see Wanye step up. Again, I'm just answering the question of the stream before I get into more of the Q&A, and would love to process it through with you guys to see who you think will step up for year 2. That's not even defensive side of the ball. I mean, for the defense, year 2, Drew Tranquill, I would love to see him not take, he doesn't need a massive step forward, but just take another step forward when you have a year of the Chiefs defense under your belt. I thought he played incredible last year. He can play all 3 linebacker positions, stepped up and played in Nick Bolton's role for, I don't even know, not half the season, but maybe close, with the thumb injury or the wrist injury for Bolton and the ankle. Maybe it was half the season, actually. They don't have Willie Gay anymore because he's with the Saints now, if I remember correctly. So I'd love to see Tranquill step up. Then obviously, just some of the rookies from last year, Nick Jones and Chamari Connor. Both of those guys, would love for them. I am a big Chamari Connor fan. I might go get a Chamari Connor jersey because I just think he's going to be that good. I'm very excited about Chamari Connor. I think he will step up. D-line guys like B.J. Thompson was kind of a project that when they drafted him. He's like a speed rusher. We didn't see really anything from him, so I'm intrigued about that. And then FAU. I need to see Felix Anudike-Uzomah just take a step forward. Didn't have a lot of expectations for him in year 1 just because of the offseason injuries that he had. He wasn't really a true, I don't know if the Chiefs had a true round 1 grade on Felix Anudike-Uzomah. That's no offense to the guy, but they did try to trade up in round 1. They got blocked out. That was confirmed by Brett Veach. They tried to trade up for a wide receiver. Then, when they couldn't do that, they tried to trade out of round 1. And they couldn't trade out of round 1 either. They couldn't get back into the early second round, so they just stayed put, took a guy, a little bit of he was a home guy. They were in Kansas City. There was probably a little bit of a factor on that, but they did need another defensive end. I do, though, with all that being said, need Felix to step up this season. He had a competitive D-line last year. I get that. He was hurt half the offseason, was behind in his training. Some of that, it makes sense. But this year, if you're Felix Anudike-Uzomah, we got to see a step up. And then maybe from some of the defensive backs, would love to see a good step up from Najee Johnson, who they did just sign officially back today. As he's coming off of that ACL, he should be good to go. I'm excited to see him. And I talked about Chamari Connor and Nick Jones already. You've got no Sneed, so McDuffie and company are going to have to hold it down. So I would love to see some of your guys' thoughts on who you would like to see step up next season, and would love to process through that. Obviously, we can talk about wherever else the questions take us as well. Timmy, best content on YouTube. I love being a member. Ninja, Cole, rules. Dude, let's go, Timmy. I called you Timmy. Tony Timmons. Appreciate it, Tony, man. Glad you enjoy the content. Always appreciate the support. Sean with the 12-month Red Beard renewal. Let's go. Prayers for quick healing to Maddie. Yeah, thank you, man. I've got some good data on prospects ranks based on 5 major big boards. ESPN, CBS, PFF, PFN, etc. So 594 prospects. Let me know what other good info would be good. Yeah, Sean. We're getting crunch time here for the draft, so I'm welcoming all that I can. And you guys know I'm not a draft guy. I'm not going to be a draft expert. I'm not really confident enough to do mock drafts by myself or anything like that, but I am trying to study draft content and just immerse myself in the draft world as much as I can. I watched another mock draft earlier today, and for those of you who are like, well, what do you mean, Cole? Why don't you this is what you do for a living? Well, I don't watch college ball for a living. I just cover news about the Chiefs, and I don't watch college ball at all. So I get really behind on draft content, especially when the Chiefs are making it all the way to the Super Bowl on back-to-back years. That's a good thing. But yeah, I'm not the draft guy. I know enough to be dangerous in some regard, but so I'm always trying to study and just be as ready as I can by draft day, because I will stream it. I'll stream during it and react and hang out with you guys for sure. But yeah, Sean, whatever you got, send it, man. Let's get it. Flip with the 19 months. Are you able to pull the comparison stats of receptions and average rookie years between Sky and Rasheed? Yeah, just off the top of my head, Sky was around 200 yards his rookie year, and Rasheed was 1,000. So, but yeah, I could pull up both of their rookie years, because Rice had 950 yards and 7-ish touchdowns, and Sky was he had 1 or 2 scores his rookie year, 200 yards, and that was about what it looked like year 2. I understand he dealt with some injuries, but Sky didn't really take much of a step forward in that regard. But I could pull him up, Flip. Thanks so much for the 19 months. Sean with the 12, man. Appreciate you. Tony with the 7. And then we had Joe with the 2. We got Allie with the 3. In my opinion, I'm hoping we get Worthy in the draft. And for Ross, Sky, Tony, it's make or break year for them. If they don't do good, they can't stay. Yeah, Tony, Tony's on the last year of his rookie deal. $2.5 million cap hit, $2.5 million dead cap. It's all or nothing with Tony. You cut him and you save nothing, or you keep him and try to hope he can contribute in some way, shape, or form on the team, whether that's just special teams, whether that's on the offense. I don't know where he is going to be and what that is going to look like at this point in time. Sky's going into year 3. You still have another year after this on his rookie deal. He was a second-round pick. But I do agree with you. If you have another lackluster year from Sky Moore production-wise, I don't know why you expect some massive leap in year 4. Now, I think they like Sky. I think he's a very likable guy. I think he works hard. I just think he struggled a little bit last year. Did not pan out. So, got to give him this year. But if it's if this year is like last for Sky, that's not ideal. I got to mute my. I don't know why I had to cough so bad, but I just randomly did. But we made it. We made it through, and you guys didn't hear it. Jason with the 2. Hey, Cole, how's it going? Is McCole coming back? That is a guy that I don't mind coming back, and I actually half expect it. It's not because I think it's a McCole Hardman signing makes the wide receiver room just massively better. I do think he raises the floor of the wide receiver room, and you know what you get in McCole Hardman. You're getting speed, but you're also getting a guy that you're don't know if he's going to finish his route sometimes. I don't know why that is. He still struggles with that. But you do kind of know what you get in McCole and his role in the offense. He's got the speed, and he can be a returner. If they want to bring him back on a 1-year vet-ish min deal, I'm totally fine with that. I understand there's going to be others in chat that are like, hell no, keep McCole away from the team. I'm okay with it, just like I was okay with CEH returning to the running back room. I think he raises the floor. He's good for depth. I would say the same thing for McCole Hardman. With them bringing back McCole, it puts the wide receiver room in an okay place, but you still need to draft at least one wide receiver early in the draft. And then maybe even there's another veteran that you're taking after the draft. Once you see how the draft board falls and the picks that the Chiefs end up getting, then maybe you even go get somebody else. I mean, left tackle is still a need, bar none. So they have to address tackle and wide receiver in the draft. And then you might also see them take somebody like McCole Hardman after the draft, or somebody like Donovan Smith after the draft, depending on how that plays out. FAU, Sky Moore, and Nazi Johnson is my answer. Love that answer, Andrew, about Chiefs players you are hoping, I guess, steps up next year. Yeah, would love that. Yep, Chamari Connor is really good, Aaron. I'm scrolling up in chat. So who would be the best fit for the Chiefs? It's a pretty vague question, Jude. Do you want to elaborate? Are you talking draft? Are you talking free agency? What position group? What exactly are you talking about? Morning rain clouds up my window and I can't see it all. That's not good, Julia. Yvonne, Hippie in here. What's up? What's up, Alex? Speaking of corners, Nick Wright mocked Kool-Aid McKinstry to the Chiefs to replace Sneed. Yeah. I mean, I've actually seen Kool-Aid get mocked to the Chiefs more than once. If they get him, I would think it's round 1, right? Maybe you could get him in round 2. I don't know that he falls to 64. I haven't really studied corners that much, so somebody in chat here might be able to be like, nah, he's definitely available at 64. But I saw him get mocked just earlier today. He went in the 20s. He went like 25. So if you're talking about round 1, did Nick Wright mock him at 32? I've seen it. I've seen it at 32. I'm telling people right now, if the Chiefs don't have a wide receiver that they love at the end of round 1, and then they think round 2, because the wide receiver class is so stacked, if they think at the end of round 2 we can still get a solid wide receiver, we're still confident based on how the board is falling. But if they're sitting there at the end of round 1, there's no tackle they want to reach for, there's no wide receiver that they're like, yeah, we have to take right here, but they're really high on another player from another position group, i.e. cornerback, i.e. interior O-line, or I don't know, pick your poison, interior D-line. Like, if they're just super high on a guy, they could get a position group that we're like, okay, that was not expected. But did we really expect them to go and get Trent McDuffie at 22, 21 or 22, whatever that was a couple years ago? I mean, no. Now, they had some play money, or whatever you want to call it, house money, with the Tyreek Hill trade and all the draft picks, so they could kind of afford to do that. I'm not sure that they take a swing like that by trading up and giving up draft capital for a position that's not a high need, but you can't rule it out. That's for sure. Irv Smith Jr. to the house, Hollywood to the house. Yeah, Irv Smith Jr. is intriguing too, thinking about the tight end room, because he raises the floor of the tight end room for sure. Yo, Sean with the 5. Sorry, chatty tonight. Nah, dude. I always welcome your input, man. Kool-Aid's gone by 36. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Most of the mocks, if I see him go, it's like late round 1, and anytime the Chiefs have taken him, it's been 32. So, I wouldn't even be mad if the Chiefs took Kool-Aid, because I just want to be able to say his name all the time in my videos. I would find a way to work his name in like every day for for quite a while if I can make it happen. So thanks so much for the 5, Sean. That's worst case scenario for him, 36. Yeah, I've seen him go in the 20s, early 20s. Yo, what's up, Nate? Nate Donlon. Brandon said he wants to play with Mahomes. He wants to win. It's going to happen next year if he stays healthy. Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about? Am I old enough for a tattoo? Yes. I mean, I'm about to be 33 on Friday, dude. So I got a tattoo at 18, so I've had a tattoo for a while. For a little while. Cole, love the videos and love watching you talk about the Chiefs. Keep up the great work. Andrew, thanks so much for the kind words, man. Yeah, I turned Friday on 33. I turned 33 on Friday. So that's a Q&A night. I might do a Friday Q&A. We did not do a Friday Q&A last week. Me and Danny had like a planned getaway kind of for my birthday, kind of for her birthday because hers got pushed back. And so we had time with no kids. When you have a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old, time with no kids is wild because you can actually have an actual adult conversation without getting interrupted every 5 seconds. It was very nice. Freaky Friday. That's it for the 33rd birthday. Oh, Diggs? Nice. Yeah, Stephon Diggs to the Texans, and they voided out or whatever. They basically redid his contract or wiped out the remaining years on his contract. So it's like a one-year deal for Diggs. I found that was pretty interesting. I like that for the Texans, to be honest. You're also going to get the best Diggs that you can get because he's on like a prove-it deal. A 1 year. He wants to ball out and show the league that he still got, gas left in the tank. He's like 30 years old, but if he balls out this year, he could still get a deal elsewhere by another team. If it's not the Texans, it's probably not going to be the Bills, so somewhere else. But yeah, the Diggs situation was certainly interesting when he got traded. I was a little surprised by that because the Bills are eating a decent amount of dead cap for that. Sweaty Dog with the 11 months. What's up, dude? If you had the number 1 pick, no trading back, who you taking for the Chiefs? Okay, number 1 overall pick, can't trade back, who you taking? I mean, most of the mocks are first 4 are QBs. Marvin Harrison Jr. has been going a lot in the top 5. So I'm either taking Marvin Harrison Jr. or I'm going to take Joe Alt. From there, it's just, do you want your franchise left tackle of the future, which I would probably say yes, or do you want Marvin Harrison Jr., your wide receiver 1 of the future? And I'm torn a little bit because Travis Kelce's not getting any younger. I know this is a hypothetical what-if question. The Chiefs don't have the number 1 pick, but I'd be torn between Marvin Harrison Jr. or Joe Alt. I could see pros and cons for taking either of them. I would probably lean towards the tackle, but I would not be mad if it was Marvin Harrison Jr. either. What's up, Smiley? Yeah, Joe Alt would be nice, Eric. It's not happening, but it would be freaking lit. Yeah, Tom Grossi. Jude was talking about Tom Grossi. I just saw he was at WrestleMania and posted like a reaction video to like the last 10 minutes of WrestleMania. Bro, The Undertaker chokeslam The Rock. I was like, what am I watching? Because those were guys who were wrestling when I watched WWF. Wasn't WWE when I was a kid. It was WWF. Your birthday is May 2nd. Let's go, low cars. Andrew with a 5. Do you think Cooper is possible for round 1 or 2? Oh, yeah. He said also forgot to add Nico Remigio to my earlier list. I'm actually, dude, that's actually a sleeper to watch, in my opinion, because I thought he had a really great, training camp. And was it in training camp he dislocated his shoulder and needed surgery? So I'm excited for Nico because he could also be the team's returner. Yeah, he would be very good at that too. So the cornerback from Iowa is who you're talking about, Cooper DeJean, I think. He could be viewed by a safety as well. I don't know when he's actually projected to go, considered to be the number 31 overall prospect and number 4 cornerback prospect. Projected to land with the Packers with a number 25 pick. So he could potentially be available for the Chiefs at 32. Potentially. Or if the Chiefs for some reason really high on him, they might have to move up a little bit to go get him. I would not rule out a round 1 corner. I mean, with Sneed gone, I wouldn't rule it out. I don't know that the Chiefs are going into the draft like, we really hope this particular cornerback falls to pick 32 because we're going to go get him if he gets close enough. Like, I don't know that they're going to the draft like that per se, but if they walked out with a defensive back, I wouldn't complain. I would be a little surprised, I think, because they've drafted like so many defensive backs recently. And I just think you need a tackle or a wide receiver. But again, it kind of depends on how the board falls. If the board falls in a certain way and they're like, well, we don't really have anybody tackle or wide receiver that we're like, we have to take right now at pick 32. Meanwhile, we do have a guy over here. We have a true round one grade on. Brett Veach and company have 12 to 15 players with true round one grades. And if they fall, they'll go get him, which is what they did with Trent McDuffie. Sean with the 5 said, yeah, so Andrew, to answer your question, I think you'd have to get Cooper in round 1. I'm not sure he falls to round 2, especially not to the Chiefs at pick 64. You'd have to get him, go up and get him. Sean with the 5, I've done 100 plus mocks on PFF. Joe Alt, number 1 all day on that. The only non-wide receiver / offensive tackle I took was a DT. There you go. Yeah, man. I mean, if the Chiefs had the pick, you need a franchise left tackle to protect Patrick Mahomes. They've kind of showed you that if you just give him time in the pocket, he'll sometimes just make it work even when it shouldn't work. I mean, they've won 2 Super Bowls in a row without Tyreek Hill, which is pretty freaking crazy. Now, last year, did the defense do quite a bit to help with that? Yes. You know, I would be very dumb to say that the defense didn't carry the team at times. It's the first time really of the Mahomes era that the defense is truly just carried. I mean, you're talking about the defense was so elite last year. Patrick Mahomes literally said it. I just didn't want to make turnovers. I didn't want to cause. He basically said if they could play it safe, obviously try to score, but if they could just get the ball into field goal range, settle for 3 and not turn the ball over and force or don't turn the ball over even if you can't get into field goal range and punt it and force the opposing team to drive the length of the field against the Chiefs' elite defense, good freaking luck. So last year was a very interesting just time because you saw Mahomes. He's not necessarily a game manager, but you saw him manage the game at times knowing what he had available to him on the offense. You know, like Kelsey and Rice stepped up, and then you had Pacheco. They made it happen when it mattered most in the playoffs, and Mahomes uses legs on multiple occasions to move the chains, and they got it done, right? Back-to-back Super Bowl champs. Mahomes got Super Bowl MVP. Mahomes is insane. But there were times where he managed those games knowing that, hey, if Butker had to kick 6 field goals, they're probably winning the game because the defense is so good. So very crazy time, man. And that's why I went on that tangent to say if you can just protect Patrick Mahomes, get him a franchise left tackle, we're good to go. You know, if you had to choose. Alexander with the 16 months. The only reason Cooper isn't the number 1 corner is because he's white. I'm only half kidding when I say that. Hey, man. There's not a lot of white defensive backs, okay? It's just how it is. You can get away with that a little bit more at the receiver position, but yeah, there's not a lot of white defensive backs, man. There's just not. I couldn't have been a defensive back. There's no way. I would have got smoked like a Cuban cigar. The Browns are a brown stain on the NFL. Oh, what am I missing? PJ said, are you still writing rap music? Cole, found your tune. First name is Colt. No, I haven't made music in like 5 years probably. I didn't actually like stop making music one day intentionally. Like I'm never making music again. It was more just, I think, doing what I do now and even before YouTube with photography and videography, I was still able to be creative. So scratch the creative itch, which is why I was making music, and it paid the bills. Music was something that would have been cool if it paid the bills and never did. Totally fine. But music is the reason I got into photos, like photography, videography, and that's the reason I got into YouTube. So we're here because of music. Let's go. Let's go. Race fan with the 10 gifted, coming in hot with the 10 bomb, dude. Appreciate you as always, race fan. Hope you're still doing well and fantastic and all those good adverbs, man. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're ready for the draft. If the Texans' new players gel, they're going to be a threat. Yeah, race fan. The Texans, I mean, they were good last year, but they're possibly even more of a problem. Even more of a problem this year. So they made a lot of moves in free agency. They also then obviously just got Diggs. They've done a lot. What's up? What's up, FB17? Good to see you, man. Brittany, what up, what up? Who's a hero? Not me. Family man in the house. Sean with the 5. My top pick is to trade back to early, mid, and take Xavier Legette. My dream is Joe Alt drops to 9 and trade up, or Brian Thomas Jr. drops to 20 plus and trade up. Top pick is to trade back to early mid. You talking early mid second and take Legette? Is that what you're saying? I think that's what you're saying. Yeah, Brian Thomas Jr., most of the mocks I've seen, he's going in the teens, mid-teens. But if he for some reason dropped, which really probably means nobody outside of a few teams are taking wide receivers by then, because what? Marvin Harrison Jr., and then you've got Neighbors, and then there's one more that I'm spacing off the top of my head because I'm not really studying those guys because the Chiefs aren't getting them. But those 3 are gone, and then you could argue it for the others on where exactly they land. But that would be interesting if is Dale Carter still alive? I mean, I think so. I haven't heard that name in a long time, though. He's 54. He's still kicking it, man. But yeah, sorry, I sidetracked on the wide receiver thoughts. But yeah, if Brian Thomas Jr. is available, go get him if you can get him. If not, that's why you're seeing Lad McConkey, Xavier Worthy, A.D. Mitchell getting mocked to the Chiefs, even though I don't think A.D. is going to be there at 32, guys. I'm just not sure. I'm not even sure if Worthy will be. Yo, American 1020 with the 19 months. Let's freaking go. Let's go, man. What's up, family? Yeah, 19 months. That's a long time. A.D. Mitchell for the first round, by the way, man. Thanks for your shorts. Love the compressed infos. Heck yeah, dude. We've slowed down a little bit on the shorts, not necessarily super intentionally. I've just been trying to get more long form, like daily news updates to you guys, like a couple more a week than I did last offseason. I kind of cut back on those in the offseason and we worked on more shorts. We're sort of flipping that a little bit. And I'm also trying to hire an editor, like on a contract or part-time basis, I think is what we're looking at to help us edit more of the shorts. Cause I'd love to drop like one YouTube short a day. It's just not always possible, just between me and Troy, editor Troy. He's coming up for the draft, by the way, or coming down rather, and I'm excited about that. But yeah, dude, American 1020, thanks for the support as always, brother. And if we can get A.D. Mitchell, would love it. I'm for the hype. And thanks for the support as always. Race fan, after the 10 gifted, drops the 10 bomb. Dude, thanks so much, man. Do you think we get Frank Gore Jr.? I don't know. I mean, I've seen his name tossed around with a couple others that come from elite names. So Rice has been thrown in there, and then there's McCaffrey's brother as well, Luke McCaffrey. I'm not sure where exactly Frank Gore Jr. is projected to go, but you know that boy can run. We do need a running back. Just kind of depends on, I would think if we get a running back, you're talking late round guy, most likely. I mean, look who they got out of Isaiah Pacheco in the 7th round. You know, probably a late round guy. So I'm not exactly, like, just to be transparent, I don't know what Frank Gore Jr., where he's projected to go. Is he a day 3 guy? If so, potentially. If the Chiefs got him on their board. Yeah, I mean, for sure. I hope Najee balls out this year. Dude, I am a big Najee Johnson fan and believer. Not just because he's the only Chief player we've ever interviewed on this channel, but I just think he's a genuine guy. And I'm really rooting for him. Super athletic guy. He played safety in college, was really moved over to corner because of his speed once he got into the NFL. And, I mean, he was working with the ones at training camp before he tore his ACL, and I think he was going to have a great year. I was super excited for him, so I'm rooting for him again. I'm always rooting for the comeback story, man. Like, you tear your ACL, I'm rooting that he comes back and balls out, you know, because that's a tough injury. And right now, Charles Omenihu is going through it, and he's documenting his rehab and recovery, and it looks tough. And I don't have a torn ACL, but I've got a meniscus issue that I'm going to PT for again, and I'm getting an MRI. And sometime this offseason, we'll probably get it cleaned up. But I've had a lot of knee pain too, but that's not even close to an ACL, or an MCL. So I feel for that. And this is just me as like a normal guy, like with my meniscus, like I'm just trying to go on walks and ride bikes and hang out with my fam. They're trying to sprint sideways at 20 miles an hour and make sharp cuts. Like I can't even imagine that. No, thanks. Race fan, thanks again for the 10 bomb, bro. Sean with the 5 gifted. Let's go, dude. Appreciate that. Dude, Sean's been going crazy today. Love it, man. Appreciate the support. What do you think of the Welsh rugby guy? A gimmick or serious signing? I wouldn't call him a gimmick because he actually is a legitimate, like, incredible rugby guy. Like, he's very athletic, quick burst, good vision, very talented rugby guy. The transition over from rugby to the NFL is it's not going to be easy, but he did say in an interview today that the plan right now for him is to work on punt returns, and his goal is to work hard and earn the role as the starting returner. So that's where you're going to watch him, and that's where I am intrigued to see him. As of right now, he's listed as a running back on the roster, but probably give him a go as a returner. I swear I saw, did I not, a 40 bomb, but it's not over here. What happened? I feel like my giving page is being weird. Oh, wait, here we go. No, it still is being weird. Let me refresh this. Because I got a 40 bomb, and I want to see. Oh, there we go. Irwin with the 40. We need this year's Puka. Well, dude, first off, thanks for the 20 bomb. Second, who is this year's Puka? You're talking like a late round. Because Puka was was he a 5th or a 6th round guy? Puka Nacua? I want to say 6, but I'm probably wrong. Who's this year's Puka? Who would it be? Late round receiver that can strike gold, because Puka 1,200 yards receiving. You think Brendan Rice? He was a 4th round guy? Okay. Dang, I was wrong. Yeah, Erwin, thanks so much for the 40 bomb. I agree, because I actually think the Chiefs should potentially consider drafting 2 receivers this year, one early and one late. And if you could get a late round guy, like think about just Isaiah Pacheco, 7th round guy. I mean, 7th round pick, you don't got a lot of expectations. And then he shows up and takes another grown man's job, gets about 1,000 yards from scrimmage. I don't remember what he got his rookie year, but he had over 1,000 yards from scrimmage last year. First running back in history, I believe, 2 years as a starter to have 2 Super Bowl rings, which is pretty nuts. But yeah, if you could get a guy not like Pacheco in the sense of it's 2 different positions, but just a late round guy that ends up working out really well scheme-wise for the Chiefs and can contribute from almost day one, I would love it. Rashee Rice? What about Rashee? Rashee Rice was a 2nd round pick, so you had higher expectations for him. But we're talking about this year drafting a late round receiver that could come and show up and contribute pretty heavily. I have high expectations for Rice, unless you're saying Rice come on. Why? If you're talking about his car crash situation, then yeah, I agree with you. Why? It's unfortunate, man. I think the Chiefs will pick a good wide receiver in the draft. I mean, that is definitely their goal, Andrew. They're definitely not aspiring to take one that's not going to pan out, even though they have struggled a little bit at taking skilled position players until somewhat recently. I mean, Rice was a hit. Pacheco was a hit. Those are both skilled position players, but same draft I think that Pacheco was taken with Sky Moore, and he hasn't yet panned out. So hopefully they do. Hopefully they're able to get one, man, that just really pans out and translates. Xavier Worthy, I mean, he's got to be on the list. 6'1", 170, 75, a little skinnier, but ran a 4.2, 140, I think. He's intriguing. I could see why the Chiefs and others would be interested in him. I have no idea if he has a true round 1 grade or not by Brett Veach and company, but he's got to be a potential consideration for sure. Sean, this year's Puka is Malik Washington out of Virginia. Puka 5th. Okay, he was a 5th. Washington 4th. All right, so should the Chiefs get Malik then, huh? I like it. Take a flyer on a later round guy. Let's go. You cringe at the thought of Sky Moore and Tony starting opening day? I mean, I think the starters will be Sky, Hollywood Brown. No, not Sky. Sorry. Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, and I don't know who the third would be at this point in time, but I don't think you see both of those guys starting. Not with the ones. Just joined, but AD Mitchell is the only way. Hey, I don't know that he's going to be there at 32. Brisby, I think that's who said that. But I would not complain if he somehow landed on the Kansas City Chiefs. That's for sure. Yeah, Kelsey's retiring soon, so we may need a tight end. Yeah, that is definitely on the list of needs. The problem is with this tight end class, Brock Bowers is not falling. And then unless Brett Veach and company is just relatively high on a late round guy to kind of take a chance, I don't know of anybody that's like, I mean, who outside of Brock Bowers would you guys be like, yeah, that guy could potentially be not the next Kelsey, but a valuable contributor in the Chiefs offense, specifically tight end in this year's draft class? Let me know. Balloon said, I was going to say if Sky's a starter, I don't even know. Yeah, I said the wrong name. I did not mean Sky. I meant Rashee. Yeah, I definitely meant Rashee. Yo, Sean, thanks for all the dono bombs, the gifteds, man. Irwin, the 40 bomb, dude. Appreciate you. Let's go. With the Bills trading Diggs, AD Mitchell is gone. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely getting a receiver. I wouldn't even be, I mean, I don't know their draft pick situation, but I wouldn't even be surprised if they went up and grabbed Thomas Jr. I have seen Mitchell mocked to the Bills quite a bit. So Ben Sinnott, he's again, forgive me, I don't watch college ball, but he plays locally, doesn't he? Yeah, K-State. He like a third round guy? Where do you think he would go? Would he go round 2? Like end of round 2? Where are we thinking? 6'3", 250, ran a 4.68 40. And he really bulked up. Redshirted in 2020, and he was only 210 pounds when he entered the program at K-State, and his speed hasn't suffered even though he put on 40 pounds. That's pretty impressive. Third round guy. Yeah, that's interesting. I saw Chiefs Digest, Matt Derrick, talk about him too. I feel like we should have got more for Sneed. Yeah, sadly, the market dictates a player's value. Somebody was talking about this, and I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was. Might have been one of the beat reporters. Could have been Pete Sweeney from Arrowhead Pride. But there was another team in on Sneed that was looking at doing like a third and a fourth. But it might have been like a third next year and a fourth this year or something. But they backed out because of his medicals, and it might have been the Vikings. I might have been that. Don't hold me 100% on that being the Vikings and the exact draft capital, but one team was looking at some kind of a capital like that. But at the end of the day, teams offer what they offer, and you take what you can get because the market dictates a player's value. So, unfortunately, I agree. I think Sneed is worth more than that, but when you tag him and teams know you're probably going to be trading him, they'll just be like, hey, man, I know you're trying to get rid of him, so I can do this, and that's about all I can do. Let me know if that it interests you, because they also then had to pay Sneed. So the Titans did it and got Sneed and paid for him. Now, this third-round pick for next year, the Chiefs could use that this year to move up. Moving up in round 1, moving up in round 2. You could use that future third if a team's willing to take it in part of the trade negotiations and a trade-up situation in the draft. So that Sneed pick that's for next year still might come into play this year. Let's have to wait and see. We broke the Bills. The Bills said you can go anywhere but the Chiefs. Chiefs replace Sneed in round 1 with Kool-Aid or Wiggins. I just saw Kool-Aid recently mocked to the Chiefs, man. I'm not sure which guy, but I kind of like Kool-Aid just because of his name. You're not getting any draft analytical evaluation from me on that, but I do like the name a whole lot and would love to be able to figure out creative ways to use Kool-Aid in my videos almost every single day. Jesse, what's up, man? What do you think the chances are they release Rice? You feel like it's 80-20, max 80% they don't? Well, thanks for the 5, man. I mean, unless Rice straight up lied to the organization and wasn't forthright and honest in his confession, if you will, when he talked to the team, I don't think they're going to release him at all. He didn't hurt anybody talking majorly. Okay, yeah, he was speeding. He was being dumb. There were lives at risk. They did cause 4 other cars other than their own 2 to wreck. There were some wounds. There was a mom that got hit in her car. She had a kid in there. Like, none of that's good. But at the same time, there's no serious injuries, no fatalities. Sure, maybe they had something in the car. I think they found a little marijuana. Texas is still living in 1885, and you can't smoke weed there. Recreationally, I don't know about medicinally, but you can't recreationally. So they might get in trouble for that. But is that any of that, in my opinion, worth getting released from the team over? I don't think so. I think he's going to get suspended. Don't get me wrong. He might have some repercussions by the state of Texas for what he did as well. But I don't think the Chiefs are going to release him. I don't think so. You guys have to agree with me, right? Yeah, couple's planning to sue. I mean, Rashee Rice might not be earning any of his rookie contract with the Chiefs. That might be all going to this situation. Dang, Chiefs rolling, but shooting in car crash is not good. Facts, John. Yeah, Jesse, no problem, man. I mean, again, that's just me, in my opinion, and I'm not a professional, but like a medical or a law professional or anything like that. But I don't think the Chiefs are going to release Rice. I understood why they released Kareem Hunt when they did. Like, he lied to them. He told them, I mean, I don't remember exactly what he said, but once the video evidence dropped, that is not what he told them happened. And once they saw it, they were pissed. They let him go immediately. 2 to 4 game suspension. That's about what I think too. Bill signing Sorensen would be the closest they get to a ring. Oh my gosh. You think a Matt Araiza, the new punter for the Bills, from the Bills, will be good? What's up, Speedy? Yeah, I mean, in theory, he did basically miss a year because of the court stuff and the allegations and all that, and he had to work through that. But he's a very good punter. My bigger question for Araiza is how good of a placeholder is he going to be? Because Butker had a great season last year, is one of the best kickers in the league, but Tommy Townsend was an excellent placeholder last year as well. You know, it's important. Long snapper, so Winchester to the placeholder to Butker who kicks. That's the Trinity. That's the field goal Trinity, man, the extra point Trinity with the specialists. So you've got to have that rapport, and that's what I'm more curious to see out of Araiza is, can he develop that quickly? And I hope he can with Butker. Andrew with the 5. Jaheim Bell was often called the next Travis Kelce last season. I've also heard rumors of Johnny Wilson being marketed as a wide receiver / tight end. 6'7", 240. I mean, that's definitely tight end size pretty much. I mean, 6'7", 240, that's tight end. Even if he's a wide receiver, like that's so big you could be a tight end. That's big. Yeah, 6'6", 230 or so. Ran a 4'5", 240. This dude is moving. Too lanky to be twitchy, inconsistent ability to finish acrobatic catches, below average ability to work tight spaces may limit him to outside receiver alignments only. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Be interesting if he could be a converted tight end. I mean, that's what they did with the Chiefs just did it with Jody Fortson. He was a wide receiver. Yeah. Thank you, Andy, for the 5, man. Mahomes can hold, and he is the backup punter. He is the backup punter, you're right, but we don't need Mahomes out there holding field goals. Please, no. If Jalen Carter is fine, Rice will get a 6-week suspension and then come back. Oh, gosh, 6 weeks? Man, that's long. Lots of restitution money and lots of community service. Yes, sir, Ari. What's up, man? Good to see you. Let's not ruin the kid. You talking about Rice? No, I mean, I hope he learns from the situation. He's going to have to face the consequences of his actions. And then whatever they are, they are. I do think they're minimal as far as the suspension goes, but again, we'll have to wait and see. Everything's still playing out. Johnny Wilson, come on, Magic Mountain Boy. He said his tapes. John said his tapes are great. Jump ball's all his. He'll be mossing. I mean, at 6'7", dude. What was his vertical? His vertical was 37 inches, but he's 6'7". So, is Jordan here? Jordan, are you in here? What's worse? 6-game suspension, week 11 through 17. God bless, dude. Could happen. You know, some saying they don't even know if a Rice suspension would happen this year. And maybe not. But like Charles Omenihu had a situation going on before the Chiefs snagged him. That happened in like January, I think. Well, his suspension hit the middle of the season, which was still the same year. So I guess the Rice repercussions could happen the following season, like 2025, but it could also happen 2024. We've seen it happen. Zomet for a returner? Yeah. LRZ could definitely be one of the guys that you see out there at returner, especially in the preseason. They're going to give him some chances for sure. He's getting 4 to 6 games in a super big ass fine, said Brandon. Dang it, man. 4 to 6, huh? I was hoping it would be less, but you know, just with other things that have happened with wide receiver, or not just wide receivers, even though Henry Ruggs was a wide receiver, just NFL players and fast cars, we've seen what has happened. You could see Rice get made a little bit, the NFL make a little bit of an example of him. Not because he plays on the Chiefs per se, just because everything's caught on camera. And you can't forget this, guys. He fled the scene as well. So it's not just the wreck, but he also ran from it. You know. Yep. We might hear something from him this week at some point. His lawyer last week said we might hear from Rice this week, so we'll definitely see. Let's see. Can we review season for the Chiefs when the season is over, please? What do you mean? I dropped a full season-long review yesterday. Austin Allen is a 6'9" tight end. 6'9"? What a number combo. That's a big tight end, dude. Holy smokes. He is 6'9". That's tall, dude. He could stand and dunk. Legit. Have you met Rice? Yeah, I have. Honestly, bro, me and my daughter met Rushy, and he was really nice, dude. He was super down to earth. Yeah, I had nothing but good things to say about him upon meeting him in person. Rice does jail time. I could see him getting a full year. I mean, I don't want to sit here and speculate because I just don't know, to be honest. I don't know enough. I don't think he's getting real jail time, in my opinion. If he would have seriously hurt some people, I think that chance would have been a lot higher. But really, nobody got, from what I understand, seriously injured, even though that's still playing out. Yeah, and that's the reason. Henry Ruggs and now Rice, this is lining up to make an example out of Rice. Yeah, NFL got to put their foot down and make sure it never happens again, in my opinion. Yeah, definitely could happen, dude, sadly. Tua Production said, give me a hot take. A hot take? How about the Dolphins don't extend Tua and they draft somebody in round 1 to be his replacement. How's that for a hot take? I think they'll extend Tua, but you asked for a hot take, so I'm trying. Tony, yeah, he's still on the roster. PJ said Tony's still on the roster. He'll get another chance to step up. The way he is able to move his body with the ball is alien-like. Just have to catch it first. Yeah, that's why I'm like, be a returner. He's great at returning. Like, just do that. Because, yeah, he's on the roster. 100%. Yep, the kid's got to learn. You're right, man. He's going to learn the hard way. He did not want to. He's going to learn the hard way this time. Have you met Clark Hunt? I have his autograph and it was sick. I have not met Clark Hunt. Hot take. Bills have been washed for 2 years now and it's finally showing in full force. I mean, that was a hard-fought divisional game against the Bills. Yo, what's up, Pickens? Ruggs isn't the same. Yeah, he was drunk at 1 a.m., slammed into a stopped vehicle. Yeah, you can't compare him, but also we don't know anything about Rice because he left the scene, man. So you don't know what was going on there. And that could work against him a little bit, but others are saying it could have been a good idea that he fled the scene. I don't know. But there could be another reason why Rice fled the scene. Do I live in Missouri? Yeah, I live in the Lee Summit area. You heard Clark Hunt doesn't live in Kansas City? I mean, I bet he has a house in Kansas City, but in the offseason, wouldn't be surprised. I don't follow him super heavy, so I don't know, but their family's from Texas, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's got property out in Texas, and that's where he stays in the offseason. It's definitely nicer weather at times, but I'm sure he has a house here in Kansas City as well. Hot take, Chiefs edition. Chiefs take a running back in round 3. Who they taking, Sean? Because that kind of is a hot take. Who they taking? I just realized I have top chat on and not live chat. My bad. I've still been getting most of it. Yeah, Ruggs did take a woman's life. Yeah, and her dog. Definitely not similar situations. Just both involve speeding vehicles on a roadway. Yeah. And a little bit of luck, too, because, thankfully there were no major injuries from the Rice crash, thankfully. Yeah, you can like super chats now, Rachel. Isn't that crazy, huh? Ain't that something? That's funny. I have my teleprompter here with chat, but I've been defaulting to reading chat off the screen. I don't know why. Best case scenario for Hollywood Brown? Best case? I mean, puts up about 1,000 yards this season, 7-ish touchdowns, and gets himself a big contract in the offseason. I think that's a really good case for Hollywood Brown, just to show, look, I'm in an offense that understands life. They know what they're doing. I was with the Cardinals, for 2 years prior. He wasn't 100% healthy either. So that's best case scenario. He stays healthy, gets about 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, great season, and gets a big deal in the future with another team, most likely another team. What's up, Gary? Good to see you, man. Hollywood going to pop off if Rice gets suspended? I mean, that's true. Mahomes going to look to him even more. What's wrong with my camera? Okay. 1,000 plus easy. Dude, is my camera not focusing on my face? Hello? Now it is. Okay. Thanks, camera. She's getting old. Might have to replace her soon, I guess. Andrew with the 2. I can see Rice getting 6 to 8 games into season. That would be less than ideal. Not going to lie. Brandon, thanks so much for the kind words. Glad you love the content, man. I love making it for y'all. See you fine? Well, it wasn't fine a minute ago, but it's good now. What's more likely, Chiefs 3-peat or Cowboys make it to the Super Bowl? Chiefs 3-peat. Not even close. Am I going to miss MVS? I mean, I appreciate what MVS did, and he especially showed up in the postseason. Will I miss the frustration we had with him at times last year, especially in the regular season, I mean, probably not. Probably not. Would you rather have Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson? Probably Justin Jefferson, just because Jamar Chase acts like an asshat half the time. He's a great receiver, though. Whoa, I just noticed a poster with your logo in the back. That looks nice. Yeah, it's a TV. It's a TV, Rachel, but thank you. Yeah, I can change it. I can change it to a sponsored ad. Or, yeah, I put my logo on the back there. Also got the logo on the cup right here. Thanks to Rachel. Let's go. I got Niners tiers and Eagles tiers over here as well. We got everything over here. MVS hasn't signed anywhere yet. Yeah, I don't know where he'll end up going. I saw that the Chargers were a potential landing spot for him. Imagine MVS lands on the Chargers. With the new contract details released, do you think the Chiefs still have enough money to continue making moves? Yeah, they have like $26 million right now with their top 51 cap, but that doesn't include CEH's contract or Mike Dana's, so maybe around 20, maybe 19 million. They got moves. You need some of that money for the season. You need some for your draft picks, just for a couple, because they might take some of that top 51. And then when you have to go from the top 51 to the 53, you got to be able to add two more. Yeah, they've got a little bit of move. They got some room. Nothing major, but they do have some room. Joe Burrow or Tua? I mean, Joe Burrow's the better quarterback, and I don't know that it's close, but the thing is, like, Joe Burrow hasn't been able to stay healthy. So Tua, I mean, he struggled the season prior with concussions, but Tua was available. So, you know, from an availability standpoint, Tua, but from skill level and just overall better QB standpoint, Burrow. Does that include? Yeah, that includes Wentz's contract, I believe. It's that 1 year, $3.3 million deal. Yeah. So it does include Wentz's. Once Rice's snaps went up to consistently around 70% in week 12, he was instantly a top 5 to 8 receiver. His next 7 games, he played 622 snaps. Puka played 1,000. He'd have had a season like Puka with snaps. Yeah, man. I just feel like Andy Reid is slow to give those rookie receivers more playing time, and they were trying to do the everybody come in and out and get some reps here or there. It just wasn't working. So they finally were like, all right, it's going to be Rice. It's going to be Kelsey. It's going to be Pacheco. Those guys are getting fed, and we're going to run it. And that basically worked. PJ said, as a fan, what are your top 3 remaining wants for the Chiefs to do this offseason? So you're not talking draft. You're specifically, well, maybe you are. I guess offseason includes the draft. But if we're talking free agency, I mean, top 3 wants. I mean, you just got to address left tackle. You've got to get more wide receiver help. And then, I mean, from there, it's just how good of depth can you get? Because depth is super important. Think of some of their free agency signings from last year on their 1-year deals. Mike Edwards, Drew Tranquill, Charles Omenihu was a 2-year deal, but all those guys came up super clutch. So tackle, wide receiver, interior O-line is a need. You know, Joe Tooney's not getting any younger. I don't know if you can afford Trey Smith next year. So you've got to think about that. And then one of the other needs is extending either Creed Humphrey or Nick Bolton, probably. And that might be what they use some of their money to do. At least one of those 3 guys between Nick Bolton, Trey Smith, Creed Humphrey. Those are probably 3 of those. Three top wishes there. Fred back with another 2. Appreciate you, man. Is the Niners tiers actually worth buying? Honestly, bro, between this and this, the Eagles tiers were definitely better, but I wanted the Niners tiers to keep the collection of bottled tears. That was loud. Of bottled tears on my desk. Holy smokes, we got a lot going on over here. I thought the Eagles tiers tasted better. It was like cheesecake flavored. The Niners tiers was like salted caramel, maybe. It sounded better than it tasted, in my opinion. Sean with the 5 and 50% of my mocks. There isn't an ideal wide receiver or offensive tackle in round 1. What's your next position of choice? Both offensive tackle and wide receiver are deep. Yeah, Sean, I was talking about that a little bit earlier, just saying that's kind of why I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs are looking at their board at the end of round 1, depending on how the board falls, and they're like, well, there's not really a wide receiver or a tackle that we think is worth taking here because of how deep the draft is at those positions. They say, we're going to be able to get somebody, maybe not right there at where we could get at 32, but not that far off at 64. Meanwhile, they've got somebody that's a true round 1 grade on their draft board from an entirely different position that's not tackle or wide receiver. And I can see that being cornerback. What else? What other position? I'm just trying to think like positions of need. I did say interior O-line. Interior O-line, like that's a need. It's not a need for this year, but it could be for depth. What else could you see? Talking end of round 1, they're not happy with any of the tackles or wide receivers that are available there. What's another position group they could be looking at? Niners tier is still coming? Yeah, they cry a lot. Chiefs draft Luke McCaffrey and Luke gets a ring before Christian. Oh no, that would actually be insane. Yeah, Jerry Rice's son will be available in the 2nd, but he will be there when the Chiefs pick. And will he be there when the Chiefs pick in the 2nd round? He's more of like a 3rd round guy, isn't he? Maybe shouldn't even be that high. Is it because of his name? Yeah, linebacker came to mind, Wiz. If you think if they have the right linebacker available at the end of round 1, linebacker but no guards are that good, like at the end of round 1. There you go. Sean also said linebacker. I mean, here's the thing about linebacker. You've got Leo Chanel. You signed Drew Tranquil to a multiple-year deal. Nick Bolton is a free agent next year, and if you don't, I would think they pay him. But I'm like, if you find a linebacker that you're super high on in round 1 and he's available, and you know that it would not hurt, okay. People will probably not be happy about that. But my thing is, if you take some other position in round 1, right? Who are you taking in round 2? Because I just think left tackle and wide receiver are both pretty big needs. So who you getting in round 2 then? And then that means you're then going to have to wait and get somebody in round 3. Unless you're using the future 3 that you got from the Sneed trade to move up. Tough. How much economic gain has the KC area seen from the Chiefs' success in your opinion? I mean, I'm not the most studied in that situation, but I have seen they've generated hundreds of millions of dollars for the Kansas City area. I mean, especially with their success recently. Yeah, so it's kind of all over the place in that. Like, you'll see somebody share an article on how much the Chiefs have helped the economy in the Kansas City area, and then others will try to refute that with other articles. So I'm not studied enough to weigh in with like a super, like, I don't have a lot of conviction in that, in what I said there, but I mean, I feel like it would be ignorant to say they don't help the economy in the Kansas City area with the success. We need an outside linebacker that can get to the quarterback when we need the blitz. So you're talking edge rusher then? Defensive end? Because, I mean, even though they've grabbed 2 defensive ends in the first round in 2 years, I guess you couldn't rule that out. Yeah, we're locked in for another couple of years of Jawan Taylor, yeah. Yeah, he's around for another couple of years for sure. And then, unless you restructure him, to alleviate some cap hit, like, you could do that before you can release him, most likely. You're a big fan? Thank you, Hunter. Appreciate it, man. Let's go. 1 wide receiver, 2 offensive tackle, 3 linebacker. Bet. Can you have my number? No, I don't give out my number, man. But you got me on social. Shoot me a DM. Let's go. You think Buffalo makes the playoffs? Dang. Ann said hi, Cole. Hi, Ann. Sorry I'm way late, but hi. That's way behind in chat, but I hope you're doing well. What's up, Nathan? Good to see you, man. I don't know if the Bills make the playoffs, dude. I mean, I feel like they always kind of have a shot. They were 8-8 at one point, right? Or they're not. Maybe they were 8-8, but they were 500. They weren't 8-8, but they were around 500, maybe 4-4 or something, and they ended up clawing their way back. And I mean, the Chiefs had to go into Buffalo last year. They beat them, and the Chiefs have beat the Bills 3 times in the postseason now. I think there's always a chance for them, a fighter's chance to get to the postseason, but they got to face the Chiefs. Now, with that being said, they've cut some key players. They then traded Diggs. I feel like they're in a bit... The Bills are in more of like a retooling, refreshing... Like, this is like a refresh for them. So I don't know what it's going to look like, to be honest. Hot take, Matt Araiza gets hurt early next season. Well, I don't like that. Change your mind. Do a different hot take. Vince said, I'm not from the KC area, but getting married in a few months. Oh, you want to invite some players? Anyone have a good idea of how I go about sending invites to them? No. I mean, the best way would probably be to just mail it up to the... See how you can mail stuff up to Arrowhead? Because sometimes they will actually... You can get mail to the players that way. That'd probably be the best way. Yeah, maybe a D-line guy. Yeah, in round 1. I could see it. Interior as well. Interior D-line. And if the Chiefs are going to the playoffs and they win all 3 games, not including the Super Bowl, I will buy a signed Patrick Mahomes jersey. I bet. Those are pretty pennies, but heck yeah. What are your thoughts on the Bengals this year? They're in an interesting place. I mean, some are saying like that injury that Burrow went through, he's not going to be 100% ever again. And that wrist, I don't wish that upon him, but that's a little bit of a concern considering they just signed him to a huge deal. They then tagged T. Higgins, and he once traded. I don't know if that's going to happen. That could be a day of the draft trade. I've seen some people mocking Brock Bowers to the Bengals, and they go up and get him. They're not in a bad spot. They're not in as bad of place as the Bills, in my opinion. I think they're still going to be pretty competitive this year. We need a left tackle. Yes, sir, Nathan. I agree. We've been talking about that. Yeah, they're going to go into the draft trying to get a tackle, and then if not, they'll probably sign Donovan Smith. It's hard when you're drafting at the end of these rounds, man. I just slapped my mic. Sorry, Mike. You okay, bud? Yes, okay. Oh, Danny got the dog. I don't know what hitting my mic made me wonder randomly where the dog is. I was thinking of like loud noises, and I was like, where's the dog been? Yeah, we definitely need a left tackle, man. But it's hard when you got a draft at the end of these rounds. Adam said Burrow was unable to shake anyone's hand at the Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, he had surgery on that tendon. I believe it was the tendon, and he was probably in a hand thing. Couldn't shake anybody's hand. Yeah, unfortunate injury for sure. King Jamie, what's up, dude? Said, what's up, everybody? Couldn't chat while driving? No, it's all good. Gonna keep listening, but get some grub. It was a long day fending off Raiders fans. Let's go, dude. Appreciate you, man. If Buffalo faceplants again this season, do they move on from Allen or McDermott? I think Allen's more safe. I don't think they move on from Allen. He's still under contract. I like Josh Allen, to be honest. I mean, he's not Mahomes. He makes costly mistakes at times, but he's still a good quarterback. I think McDermott would be more in the hot seat. As a former right guard, it's never sexy to draft O-linemen, but it pays off in the postseason. No, 100%. That's why I said, hey, interior O-line is still a need. Joe Tooney's not getting younger. You don't know if Trey Smith is going to get a long-term deal worked out, and then you just need depth. Think of Nick Allegretti needing to step in because of Joe Tooney's pec injury, and then Nick Allegretti tore his UCL in his elbow, a complete tear in the Super Bowl, and finished playing. I mean, you almost needed somebody else aside from Allegretti on the O-line. which is nuts. What NFL team would you be a fan of if you wouldn't be a KC fan? I mean, I'm from Kansas City. I'm just trying to think if they didn't exist or something. Maybe the Rams, because they were in St. Louis and that was like the second closest team, I guess. Wasn't it kind of embarrassing when we lost to the Donkeys last year? I mean, yeah, it's always embarrassing when you lose to a piss poor franchise. All jokes aside, they haven't been bad for the entire NFL history, but the last 5 to 7 years have been really bad, which has been fun. Yeah, it's always tough. Like losing to the Raiders and the Broncos was tough. Yeah. Tom ain't coming back. Nah, he done. Yeah, Nick Allegretti is a dog. I'm glad he got paid and he's with the Commanders now. Like, I wish he was still with KC, but I'm happy he got his payday. Super happy about that. What do you think about the Texans? They're going to be tough. Yeah. They're really loading up. You got to take advantage of it while Stroud's on his rookie deal. You have to. What do you think the Chiefs' record will be next year? Somewhere around 12-ish wins. I mean, it's pretty safe to say. Yeah, CJ has been balling. You're right. Yeah, we will miss Nick 100%, Kathy. How many games do you think Rice will be suspended for? I'm saying 2 to 4. A lot of other people in chat are saying 4 to 6. It's a best guess right now. Could definitely be 4. Could be more. Could be a little bit less. Texans look good on paper. Yeah, on paper, they look great. 100%. Hey, the Broncos were bound to get lucky eventually. Influenza won that game for them. Yeah, Mahomes he was sick, dude. But, I mean, the Broncos came out and made it happen. The Raiders game made me more sick. The back-to-back turnovers for touchdowns was rough. Yeah, Mike, he pitched it to Brian Cook. He's going to house it, dude. He's going to house it. I just randomly saw that clip today of me reacting to Brian Cook's scoop and score. Here it is. Hold on. I can get the audio on it. Hold on. All right, here we go. I think you can hear it.
Quick pass, left side,
Yep.
blown up, fumble, and picked up by the Chiefs, pitched back to Brian Cook, and Brian Cook's gonna freaking house it, dude. He's gonna house it! Oh my God! Oh my God! What the frick just happened? Holy shit.
We paused it just in time. Dude, that play was crazy. Yeah, I also freaked out on the MVS catch, too. Will Rice's arrest help McColl get a new contract? I don't think the Chiefs are going to do anything specifically at the wide receiver room with Rice in mind. Only because I don't really think it's going to be that bad. I still think they need to draft at least 1 to 2 receivers and then pick one up in free agency regardless of the Rice situation. Great clip. Dude, look how red my face is here at the end. See how red my face is compared to the beginning?
Quick pass, left side, blown up, fumble, and picked up by...
Don't talk. Look how red my face is compared to the beginning from me screaming and freaking out. That's the craziest part to me. You don't think McColl should come back? I'm okay with McColl on a 1-year cheap deal, but not like that's not your only answer. That's just for like punt and kick return depth, and then a guy that knows the system and can contribute in the offense. Yeah, Princess Kenny. That's a freaking crazy play. Yeah, it matched my beard exactly. Jude said, hey, love the streams, man. I'm leaving. Thanks, dude. Heck yeah. Yeah, I'm getting off here in a couple minutes. I definitely, in the offseason, it's hard because I miss the game streams. The game streams are my favorite, man. I really enjoy those. Cold breath? Yeah, dude, I was screaming. You think Tyreek is missing Mahomes? Yeah, I think so. I think he misses playing with the Chiefs. Those are his friends. Need Hardman for the Super Bowl? Yeah, just to catch a quick... Cole breathe. Sorry, not breath. It just happens when I yell and get excited. My face just gets red. Red as can be. Alonzo, thank you, man. Tony Gonzalez or Rob Gronkowski? Ooh. I'm going to go with Tony G, man. I'm going with Tony G. The receiving yards leader in NFL history. Still annoyed at the Rasheed stuff? Same. 100%, man. I would rather not have to talk about it. But it's here, so it is a reality. Yo, Nicole, what up? How's it going? Who are we playing week 1? I don't think we have the schedule yet. We don't have the order. But if you're wanting me to take a best guess, the Texans would be a good one. Just throwing that out there. I am a little pasty. I'm Irish. Sign Odell. He's a potential option. They don't have a ton of money, so it's like you can't give up a lot for him. Dockley said, mine did too, the face red thing. Girls like to tease me because my face would get so red. Viking stock. Hey, it happens. Thanks, Cole. You always take my questions and you brighten up my day. Heck yeah, Charles. I'm always glad to see you in here, and I always appreciate the input. Has Andy signed his new contract? I haven't seen any reports of that. I know they were having talks. You're talking about Andy Reid signing his extension to make him potentially the highest paid head coach in the NFL. No, I haven't seen any. They had talks of it, but I haven't seen anything official. Not yet. Is Rasheed in trouble? Yeah, he's in trouble. We don't know how much yet, though. Got to let that play out. When are you going to have Kelsey on as a co-host? Travis Kelsey? He's probably never coming on this channel, dude. Probably never coming on here for an interview, but not because I wouldn't like him to. That's big. That's big leagues. Kelsey and Mahomes, that's another stratosphere, man. Do I miss Alex Smith? Yeah, I mean, the Mahomes era has been the greatest era of Chiefs Kingdom ever, but I have a lot of appreciation and respect and admiration for Alex Smith. So in that way, yeah, sure. Yeah. We can make Wentz play in the slot. I don't know, but we could run some crazy trick plays, Troy. But yeah, Wentz is like 6'4", 240. He's a big dude. Come on now. Kelsey is tall. I've met in real life. Yeah, I saw him at Mahomes' gala, but he was talking with like some kids, so I wasn't going to stop and bother him or anything. But he's like 6'6", I think, 6'7". We play Chicago first game. We play all last game of the season, I believe. I don't think the order's there. We don't have the order. The Chiefs are probably going to play in the season opener, and they're going to want it to be a banger. Chiefs versus Lions last year was real good. Chiefs versus Texans would be fire. You could get Trent Green? Trent Green for what? QB2? You watched 2 Alex Smith games? I watched a lot of Alex Smith games. Called him check down Alex sometimes. But he was a good quarterback. Yo, good night, Trevor. You have an absolutely amazing rest of your night as well, my guy. Let's go, dude. You're scared of the Texans this year? Yeah, I mean, on paper, they look really good. Did you see Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson at WrestleMania? Yeah, I did. That was pretty cool. Watched a new interview with the rugby player, and sounds like they have a clear plan for him on kickoffs. Yeah, I talked about it in today's video. That's the plan for him right now, 100%. Am I a Texans fan? Do I like Stroud? I'm not necessarily a Texans fan, but I just think they're going to be good. I do like Stroud. Yeah. I think he helped turn that franchise around pretty quickly. Had a great rookie year. So, no, I'm not necessarily a Texans fan, but they're a good team. So I got to tip my hat to greatness. Yeah, he said he's going to work out with Mahomes next week. Yeah, he's flying in town to get work in during OTAs. He called it preseason. But I can understand why he would say that, because it really is prior to the season, before the season, which is the off season. But like in other cultures, that sounds weird to say the off season, because that means you're not working in the off season, but you're about to get to work. So it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Yo, Epic, thanks for the kind words. Said keep up the work and soon you'll be better than nah. Tom and Perna? I mean, I'm just trying to be the best me that I can be. I think Perna's killing it. He's got his own comedic vibe, puts out really engaging content, and then Tom obviously has his own comedic vibe in a whole different realm. And they got a really good podcast together. I just think those guys are great, and I'm honored to be even talked about, even very rarely, but in the same realm with those guys. They've obviously got 600,000 subs. I'm only at like 220, but I consider them just friends in the space and think they make great content and they're putting out awesome work. And even though Perna's a Broncos fan, it's fine. It's fine. He's got me on his coffee line, and I've been enjoying just watching them grow, and they've helped me a lot too since I've started out. So nothing but respect for them. If this three-peat happens, it's going to be the culmination of 61 years of following Kansas City sports. Oh my gosh. Please, three-peat. You and your mods keep us entertained and coming back. Yeah, shout out to the mods. Shout out to Jennifer. Who else is in here? I know Flip was in here. Is that the only two that I've seen? Anyway, I appreciate you guys holding it down. More film on Stroud. Yeah, that's true. You have more film on Stroud this upcoming season. Yeah, it's kind of like Mahomes in 2018. He kind of took the league by storm a little bit, and then they had film on him. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, true. But they have built a lot of good talent around him, too. They're not the same team. I'm scared of no team. Baltimore will be tough with Derrick Henry. Stroud has to prove it when it matters. Grim Reaper will cometh. Let's go, Sean. Dude, that's what I'm talking about, man. I mean, if anybody's proved it, it's Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, and company. Like, they've proved it time and time again. So until somebody else can come and dethrone the king, they are the king, and you have to deal with them. 100%. Well, I appreciate you guys hanging out. I'm going to jump off. Again, my daughter had her tonsils removed today, so I'm going to go, and I got to give her medicine here soon and make sure she's taken care of. But I appreciate you guys, and until next time, before I do my regular sign-off, until next time, which is probably Friday night. Friday night's my birthday. I turned 33. I want to do a short birthday stream at least and just hang out with you guys as we get ready for the draft. But appreciate everybody, man. Thanks for all the gifteds, the memberships, the donos, the engaging questions. Appreciate y'all more than you know. I always look forward to the Tuesday night Q&A. And until next time, let's go. Say it with me. Let's freaking go.